Hey y'all, I'm here today to talk to you about a teen issue, and since I know absolutely nothing about it, I decided to go with the issue of stress. More specifically, what is stress, what kinds of stressors teens have, and how stress can affect them. First of all, what is stress? Stress is defined in psychological terms as a feeling of strain or pressure and is considered a type of psychological pain. Stress can be both good and bad, but the difference between the two is that good stress is something like pushing yourself to do better in class or a race, while bad stress is something that overwhelms you and can cause various problems both mentally and physically, such as having a massive workload and a close deadline or having to take care of multiple people on your own. Right now, we will be focusing on negative stress and how it affects teens in the long and short terms. Some stressors teens have. First, we need to know what a stressor is. A stressor is described as any event, experience, or environmental stimulus that causes stress in an individual. Some stressors that teens have are things such as a large workload from school, an after-school job, family and friend issues, and their physical and mental health. If a student has a large amount of homework and takes honors and/or AP classes, then the odds are they may feel overwhelmed if they get even a single day behind, since those classes tend to go at a much faster pace than others. To add to that, if a student has a job outside of school, then they have to make sure that they are at work on time and still keeping up in school, getting enough sleep, and participating in social activities, since all three are very important to physical and mental development. Relationships with family and peers can be huge stressors. Maybe there are problems at home or they have to take care of little siblings while their parents work. Maybe a friend is pressuring them to do something they don't want to or they shouldn't do. And even without those outside issues, your own physical and mental health can also act as stressors. If a teen gets sick during the school year, it affects attendance as well as stamina for doing homework. The longer the illness, the further behind and the greater the effort required to catch up. Poor mental health leads to the same issues and can often last longer and be more difficult to treat. I asked a friend of mine to help me out a bit by answering questions about her stressors. So, what is something that stresses you out?
People staring at my cochlear implants.
Why does it stress you out that much?
I don't know, it's just like, I feel like they're judging me for having things on my head, really.
How does stress affect teens? Stress can lead to a decline in physical health, and it's not uncommon for someone who's very stressed to get sick more easily. Stress can also make teens act out more and snap at people if they have too much to do or cope with. Stress in teens often, at least in my experience, gets dismissed quickly by many adults, with phrases like, "There are others who have it harder than you," or, "This is nothing compared to what I had to do when I was your age." Hearing responses like this often leave me feeling frustrated and hostile by invalidating my concerns. How do we know about the effects of stress on teens? With the help of professional studies by researchers from Johns Hopkins University, we have statistics, data, and other information on how stress affects people both over time and in the moment. The article, "Chronic Stress May Cause Long-Lasting Epigenetic Changes," explains that long-term exposure to a common stress hormone may leave a lasting mark on the genome and influence how genes that control mood and behavior are expressed. Furthermore, after giving the statistic of depression risk to be only 40% genetic, the article states, "Unsurprisingly, previous research has shown that stressful life events can increase the risk of depression," which really goes to show that stress isn't a good thing to have in the long term for teens or adults. All in all, stress is a major teen issue. Teens have various different stressors ranging from friends and family to schoolwork to extracurriculars, meaning that anything can become a major stressor if it's got the opportunity. Despite all of this stress in teens, it's often dismissed out of hand or not given appropriate validation by adults close to the individual. It is important to acknowledge these stressors and often negative effects they have on both mental and physical health. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to this, and I hope you think about what you've learned and can form an opinion on the issue of stress in teens. As a thank you for sitting through the entire video full of my scratchy voice, here's a picture of my cat.